All right, y'all. Two Peas in a Bong in the building. Again, it's your boy DP.
It's your boy KP.
And trying to figure out what the fuck a knockdown is. It's your boy Bong. What's good, man?
We got
Shit.
engineer already in the building, man. We taking notes from the NBA game starts, the pushbacks. Hey, man,
Yeah,
they gotta make sure they get all the marquee games on TV.
Mm.
You know, um, but yeah, Bong, you said you're trying to figure out what a knockdown is. I'm
yes, sir.
assuming you talking about that Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach Jr. fight, right?
Absolutely. You already know. You already know. You
So,
already know.
so
Hey,
I
before
know
listen,
y'all
hold on.
watched it.
Hold on. Before we even get there, appreciate everybody tapping in. We're gonna tell y'all from the beginning. Please like, share, and subscribe. We truly appreciate it. So we'll get that at the Holy Trinity,
With
absolutely.
the
Um,
Bong. You
yes,
froze
sir.
up, homie. You froze
Oh
up.
shit. Damn, my bad. I said it's the Holy Trinity. Please
Absolutely.
like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it in advance.
No doubt.
Indeed. Now go ahead, DP.
No, I was just saying, I know y'all watched the fight.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
y'all watched the fight.
absolutely. Absolutely.
I actually watch it with no volume because I don't want to hear the crowd oohing and eyeing over flurries of punches that aren't being landed. And I didn't want my judgment being manipulated by that. I wanted to watch it in silence and
Okay.
say, okay, this is what's going on.
How did y'all think it was gonna go down before?
I thought Tank was going to destroy him. I mean, he's beat him as an amateur. So I was like, okay, he's just gonna beat him again.
Same with you,
Those were my
Bong. You thought
thoughts.
the same thing?
Um, I thought Tank was gonna win easily, but that was just more so based off of Tank Davis's reputation, right? You know what I'm saying? He got dynamite in his hands. And again, in his last fight, what was the fight before this? Damn, who did he fight? I'm drawing a blank.
The Frank Martin fight? You talking
When he
about
fought Frank
Tank?
Martin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
the Frank
Yeah.
okay,
Martin fight.
okay, okay.
So when he fought him, Frank was pretty, he was trying to stay disciplined. He was doing all the right things, but all it took was a moment, right? It took a moment later in the fight. He lets his guard down. He thinks he's doing it.
Hmm.
And Tank Davis has that has the bronze bomber Deontay Wilder type of um, one punch power where if he catch you with that left,
Yeah,
no, that's all she wrote,
yeah,
right? So just off name recognition alone, absolutely, I would have
Yeah.
given the upper hand to Tank. The betting odds said that it was going to be an easy win, minus 1,600 as a favorite. For
Hmm.
those that don't bet, that means that you'd have to bet $1,600 to win $100 if you're betting with Tank Davis.
Hmm.
So the betting odds favored him, saying that it should have been easy work.
heavily, heavily favored.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if that's the case on the bet and the spread,
I pretty much thought along the lines of what y'all thought. I had a good friend of the show, Pancake, hit me up. We usually go back and forth about boxing and stuff. And he told me he would hope that Lamont Roach is able to, or Lamont Roach Jr. is able to have or make Tank get in his bag and show more than he has before. And my response was, probably not. Um, but I mean, and it sounds disrespectful to Roach. So, but I don't mean any disrespect. I just thought it would have been kind of the same pattern, like y'all were saying, because it's not just that, you know, Bong, you were talking about Tank in terms of his last fight against Martin, but that's kind of like a pattern of his in general. Like it happened If you think about his big fights, right? It happened against Ryan Garcia where
Yeah.
he started slow, right? It happened against Leo Santa Cruz where you have the announcers on the side like,
Talking
uh,
about, ooh, it's gonna
and
take
if you,
more.
he's like, and if he thinks Santa Cruz is gonna fold, and right in the middle of him saying fold,
Bang.
bam, here's the uppercut, right?
Yeah, he hits him with
So,
that deadly shot.
but that's not. It's like Tank is like a boxer puncher, right? So he, like you said, he has the power like a Wilder does in his division. Tank has it at his level, right?
Yep.
But he has more in his bag. Like he can
Yeah.
box, he can move.
Yeah.
He's patient actually, and in this case against Roach, maybe a little bit too patient
Yeah.
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
Roach was getting busy. Roach was countering.
In some of
Roach
the
had
later
good
rounds.
movement. He had
Absolutely.
he had good defense. Like, and he showed it. He showed chin work too because he got hit a couple times by Tank, and he stood in that pocket and was getting busy.
Hey,
So
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No,
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, Tank in regards to slow starts is a lot like Mayweather, right? And who before, I think they've fallen out over business or whatever that relationship is like. Um, Here we go. I've had this conversation with this man. Go ahead and post it, man.
But finish
My,
your
my,
thought,
my,
man.
my
Finish
brother
your
George
thought.
Bled. Not okay, but Tank is a lot like Floyd Mayweather when it comes to, they say that they're like computers and they spend the first 5 or 6 rounds trying to figure an opponent out, right?
Mhm.
Trying
Yeah.
to decode
Yeah.
the matrix or whatever, and
Hmm.
then like in the later rounds is when they start really getting busy. But he's very accurate, and even though his punch count, his output was really low. Um, Yesterday, like towards in the beginning, towards the middle rounds of the fight, he was still like landing at almost 50%. So
Yeah,
he's a computer, right?
yeah. He does the downloading early.
And I just found it interesting that this somebody sent me a video about it was like the pre-fight. It was like the pre-fight, like one of those interviews that he was doing, right? And they listed 6 opponents and they asked him, was it a challenge or was it easy work? Right? They said Devin Haney, he said easy work. They said Shakur Stevenson, he said easy work. They said Keyshawn Davis, he said super easy work. So then they gave him 3 more. Hold
But
on.
that's but that's backwards because before he said that Keyshawn would be harder than Shakur.
Yeah. So again, let's fast forward. So then they asked him about 3 more. They asked him about Lomachenko. He said he would be a challenge. He's one of the vets in the game. He would be a challenge. They asked him about Bud Crawford. He said that Bud would be a challenge, but because of his size, because he's much bigger than him.
I
And then
saw
they
that
and then they asked him about Lamont Roach, and he said he would be a challenge. So
because he
he didn't
knows.
give. Hey,
Yeah,
again, I'm not giving him a pass, but if you respect him, you respected him coming in,
yeah.
apparently,
But you could
right?
tell that when they started.
Right.
You could tell that throughout the fight.
No,
And
no.
and
You could
and
tell that in the middle rounds, DP.
you could tell it throughout the fight. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking about from jump, and George said something that I was getting ready to say, which is I'd look at an active fighter, which is
Yeah.
Bud Crawford, who is notorious for starting slow.
Yeah.
And he basically just is doing the downloading, as they say, in the early rounds. And then he goes off and gets busy toward the end. But in this case, they were saying um that Tank didn't know what round it was. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
dog, how you don't know?
In the
How you don't
12th
know
round, he
what?
thought it was the eighth. He thought it was the
Yeah,
eighth round.
like
Going into the 12th.
what are we talking about? How do you know? How you don't know? He said they need the scoreboards, to show or the monitors to show the so the fighters could look up and see, what round it is and all of that stuff. Like, I mean, nah, that's part of the game, right? And for people who say, just a sidebar, people who talk about they want to post the scores during the fight to kind of make it a transparent thing, that takes away from the sometimes mystery at the end of a fight when it goes
Yeah,
to the judges' cards. That's part of the game. Like,
absolutely.
you
You
know,
got to come out swinging in the 12th round because you don't know if you're winning or losing in a close fight.
and
Yeah.
and so and Bong, you started off by saying you trying to figure out what a knockout is. So let's talk about that in the ninth
Knock
round.
down,
I mean, a
knock.
knockdown. I'm sorry, what a knockdown is. Let's talk about that in the ninth round. Like, anytime you take a knee, it's supposed to be a
Down,
knockdown.
down.
Take away a point, 10-8 round to the other fighter. Unless, of course, something else happens where you knock his ass down. Now we looking at a different score. It's not 10-8 because you've also knocked him down. But that
Yeah.
didn't happen. If it's just you voluntarily take a knee, then it's counted as a knockdown.
After being punched.
If you
Not,
voluntarily take
yeah.
a knee,
But I'm saying,
Floyd Mayweather had an issue with his hand before, and I forget which fight it was, but he took a knee, voluntarily took a knee.
was
Nah,
that
his
Zab,
hand hit
was that
his
Zab Judah? That
I think
wasn't
his
Zab Judah,
I
was
think
it?
his hand hit his glove touched the mat. That was
Uh,
so they
let,
called that a
Was that
let me look it up while y'all continue, but I'm
so
I'm pretty
was
sure.
that
here's
Zab?
Go
Was
ahead.
that Zab Judah? Was that the
here's
No,
Zab
here's
Judah?
what
no,
Okay.
no,
here's
no.
what I'll say. Steve Willis was the ref for the fight last night, right? And mainly he's known for his theatrics with his eyes. He got the bug eyes, so he's always known for, like, he's in hella memes, like looking at like looking at the fights and shit. Um, but outside of that,
By the way,
um,
y'all, we in Cali. Did y'all just feel that earthquake?
No.
no,
Okay, I for sure felt the earthquake.
there you
Crazy.
go.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna feel the after. What's that shit? The aftershock.
Yeah.
But um. So anyway, what I will say is now Willis is a great he's a he's a great ref, right? Um, and I've been saying that he showed Tank a lot of grace last night as the as a champ, right?
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, the, it is what it is. When they say to be the champ, you gotta really beat the champ. Like, we keep having these conversations, and it still holds true. Like, I'm giving any round where it's little to no activity, I'm giving that round to the champ, hands down. So, you come out in round one and hey man, we just trying to fill each other out. I'm giving that to the champ because, like, if it's a toss up round, the champ gets it. Like, this is some of the things, and so many of the rounds were so close, kind of close. It could have went this way, could have went that way. A punch here, a punch there. Those rounds go to the champ. So it's not like people. I just don't understand. I don't like the fact that people are trying to, like, all of a sudden now we're gonna have a bunch of think pieces and TED talks on Tank Davis, um, taking a knee, and the ref didn't call it, and that changed the course of the fight. I don't buy any of that
You
shit.
you think so? So you thought Tank just clearly won?
I thought that. So I
No.
had it. I had it 6-5. I had 6-5, 6 rounds to 5 rounds going into the 12th, and the 12th was a toss up. I had Tank up 6-5 going into the 12th.
Mm.
I'm not
So
mad at it being called a draw, dog. I'm not
I'm not.
even mad at it
What
being
I'm
called a
saying
draw.
is, but what I'm saying is, it went from a lot of people last night. After an immediate reaction was, okay, I can live with a draw. It was a draw. Now, because of social media, the shit then spiraled into, oh man, hell nah. What the fuck was that? This some bullshit. Roach got robbed. Slow
But
down.
wait, but hold on, hold on, hold on,
if
hold on,
you
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. He actually, if you go by the rules of the game,
he did
he
get robbed.
did.
Yeah, he did. And
He
and and I,
did.
and I was
It's
gonna
not
say,
even a if
yeah,
so this and
if
that.
you count the knockdown,
Yeah.
if you count the knockdown, he wins the fight. Which this isn't the first time this happened to him. He fought Orlando Cruz in Puerto Rico, a Puerto Rican in Puerto Rico, and the Puerto Rican judge, well, the Puerto Rican, I believe the ref was Puerto Rican, and there was a knockdown, and they didn't rule it a knockdown, and subsequently the fight ended up being a draw. And so this is the second time he's been in this position.
And by the way, the Floyd Mayweather uh knockdown, which was the only one of his career, it was that his hand was hurt and he took a knee. Carlos Hernandez. I just didn't remember
Okay. Okay.
remember which fight it was, but he took a knee. So he took the knockdown. Niggas do it all the time. Like they do it to get themselves together. They'll just take the knee and do whatever they need to do to get right. But you got to know that when you do that, you're giving up the points. You are.
So,
That's just a part of the game.
so
Tank's corner said it. Tank's corner said you could get away with that shit in the amateurs. Apparently, you can in the professional sports now too.
but let me tell you what happened though, DP. So Tank takes the knee real quick, right? And immediately shoots to the corner, head out the ring, asking for a towel. And what happened? What? Hold on, just let me
That
let me
you ain't
just let me
supposed to
finish.
do that either.
Hear me out. Because he moved so quickly. I think what it did was it caught Steve Willis off guard,
I
and
absolutely agree with that.
he made a judgment call based on the three things that happened: knee, out this ring, out this corner, out that corner. They wipe his face down. He comes back in, and thanks to technology, we could hear him talking to Tank and telling him, "Bruh, you know what that looks like? Like that can be perceived as a knockdown." He told him that shit,
And
right?
because of technology, the camera was so clear, you could also see he had already started the count.
Yeah, he did.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So
That he
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 had
did.
already started the count.
Yeah.
So
when
he already made one judgment, then he
right
reneged on that judgment.
when Tank went out when he went out the corner when
Which
he
is
went,
another, what are you doing? You're not supposed to get outside assistance from anybody unless the referee
Instructs it.
is like, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. I'm so it wasn't this is where I agree. It wasn't a knockdown, actually. Like Tank wasn't, it didn't look like he was hurt. So I'm not saying that Roach hurt him. I'm saying it's all it we talking about a thinking game and all of that kind of stuff, downloading in the early rounds and all of that. All of the stuff goes into, it's a part of the game. That's also a part of the game. So if you make that decision, let's say he made the decision and then Willis says, "Hey man, it's a knockdown. You took the knee." Would you be saying, "Oh, Tank got robbed," or would you be saying, "Tank, why'd you take the knee, dog? You killed yourself."
right. So again, either way, I wouldn't be mad.
It would have forced Tank to fight different in the later rounds.
My brother
Right.
said that, and
Yeah,
and
he
it,
would
and
have.
that could have been a different type of
Well,
outcome.
Yeah.
it was the later rounds. That was the ninth round.
No, but
So
but you had three
in the
other rounds
championship
after
rounds,
that.
right? Yeah. So you have the
Yeah.
championship rounds. So um, if you could
And,
highlight,
and I don't know who this
George's.
is. I don't know who
Oh yeah,
this is. I don't even want to butcher that. Um, but he
sounds
said,
Yacht Pushkin.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pushkin says you don't need to be hurt, so you don't need to be hurt to take the knee.
I agree. Again, I think the ref showed.
He follows it up. It was a knockdown. Period. It should have
Yeah,
been ruled a knockdown.
yeah.
But yeah,
Hey,
he showed him grace. Bong. Listen. I'm not
yeah,
arguing with you on that.
yeah. He
He
showed him
showed
grace.
him love.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
absolutely.
like Tank. Send Willis his favorite cigars and wine. Get him his favorite type. If he ain't married, get him some ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank that man.
But
Like,
but what
cause
I'm
he.
but, but I don't want it to be perceived as what I think is being perceived as is he was cheating for Tank. And I think that it was a bang bang
No, I don't think it
situation
was
where
cheating.
in that moment, right? And it just he made a judgment call in the moment.
So are you calling it poor judgment? If you think
No,
that
no, no, no,
so
hell no.
okay, but you think that it was a knockdown or should have been a knockdown. Ruled a knockdown
It could
or
have been
not.
ruled.
Okay, now here
Could have
you
been
go with the
ruled.
could
No,
have
it should
been.
have been.
Okay,
It should
it
have
could
been.
have been or should have been. Which one is
Yeah,
it?
it should have been. It should have been. It
Okay.
should have been a knockdown, but it wasn't. So since
Okay.
they didn't score it, I didn't score it. Right.
Hey, is it Yak like Jock or is it Yoke like Loke? Like Yoke Pushkin or because I want to make sure we got you right,
Yeah.
Pushkin. I don't want to be on here butchering your name, you know what I'm saying? So um but yeah, no. Bong. I'm with you. With the grace from
Hey,
Willis, all that.
so hear me out. But what I don't want to, if you could highlight one of George's comments right here, it says, "Look, Tank the character yeah." Highlight that. He says, "Look, Tank the character is bigger than Gervonta the boxer. All kind of antics last night. That's crazy." So what I don't like is right. A week ago, we posted a short on YouTube and asked folks if Shakur Stevenson fought Tank, who would win. The entire world was saying Tank is gonna wipe the
90,
street, wipe the street
97%.
with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Well, and let me be clear. I'm not one of the ones that say he'll wipe the street. But I'm gonna let you finish, and I'm gonna say what I say about that fight and the rest of this one. But go ahead.
all of a sudden, what a difference a week makes, right? He gets into a tough fight, could have gone either way. He comes out with a draw, and now I'm hearing things like the persona is bigger than the boxer. He ain't got that dog in him. You know, he's been talking about retirement and spending time with his family. He don't got it no more. It could have just been a challenging fight. Like and fighters are entitled to have challenging fights,
And
Yeah.
right?
or off nights or
Or an
both.
off exactly,
Like it
exactly.
happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What Jay-Z say? Bet against Tyson. You know, it might be an off night. Like it is what it is. Like it happens, right? That's what was that joint with him and Biggie?
I know what she's
Oh,
talking
you
about. I
cats
don't
is
know.
on swimming the fight song. We in
Yeah,
the 1,500 seats watching
nice
Tyson.
song.
That's
Yes,
Brooklyn
sir.
finest.
Brooklyn's
Yeah.
Same
finest. There you
night,
go.
same fight, but one of us cats ain't playing right.
I'll
I'll
let
let
you
you
tell it.
tell it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
again, now it's all,
No,
and
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
saying,
no, no, no,
and
no,
I'm
no.
not
I'm
saying
sorry. That's I love the dough.
I
That's
love the
right.
dough. You
My
got me
bad.
out here
My
saying
I
bad. My bad.
love
bullshit.
the dough
My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
My
more
bad. My
than
bad.
you know.
Yeah, my bad. My bad.
yeah.
Um
But and that still wasn't the song. That was a different song. But anyway, Jay Z got 20 hits.
No,
But
yeah, that's I love the
nah,
dough.
it wasn't on that one. But anyway,
well,
um,
we'll figure it out.
it was an imaginary player. But that's neither here nor
We'll
there.
figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I'm not saying George said that per se, but that's the thought process. Hey man, he needs to retire. He ain't got that dog in him. Um, you know, just whatever, right? There's just a lot of stuff going, a lot of speculation now that he had a tough night in the ring. All of a sudden, everything that he's built up, like all this cachet that he built up, motherfuckers willing to toss that shit out the window over one fight. And
Yeah,
I just think that that's
yo.
crazy as hell.
Listen. Let me just say this. I feel you. And Tank said the same thing that you saying. He said it after the fight. He said, 1 minute they love you, the next minute they hate you. He was like, it's crazy, something like that. But what preceded that was him telling you about hair grease dripping in his eye. That sounds so ridiculous, my nigga. Like, even if it's true, tell
Don't
me
say
that
it.
shit don't
Don't say
sound
it. Yeah,
so
don't say it.
ridiculous. Like, my nigga,
I just
like,
got my braids done, and
just don't even say like
And
you don't even need to give him an explanation like that. Like, oh man, something was in my eye. I don't know. Like,
And then hey,
But
listen,
but
this
but but if we on
this
if
is
we on
this is
if
the
we
social
on that
media era. This
if we on that and if we're on that and we want to be real and talk about the history of boxing, Muhammad Ali, when he fought Liston, they said Liston wiped some shit in his eyes off of his glove. Ali fought through the shit, won the fight. So it's like this ain't the first time this didn't happen to, you know what I mean? Like you gonna have people make those kind of comparisons and draw back to the history of boxing if you really follow like that. If you don't, you just gonna look like did this dude just say something about hair grease falling in it, dripping
hey,
in his eye, or hair
Wait.
chemicals dripping in his eye?
I'm sorry, man. You got to highlight George's comment, the second to last one, about that Deontay Wilder. It mentioned what the hell Deontay Wilder said after he lost when he came to the ring and all that heavy
in
shit.
that
Hey,
200 pound
hey,
200 pound get
hey,
up.
hey. And didn't that sound ridiculous when he was talking about that? You look ridiculous, you sound ridiculous. Nigga, this is boxing. Like, what the fuck is going on? And look, Wilder could probably knock every single one of us out. It don't matter. I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling you what I see, my nigga.
Hey,
Like,
hey, cold part. Hey, his equilibrium was off that whole fight. You talking about
right.
Beyonce? That
Hey,
motherfucker was
hey,
stumbling,
hey,
fumbling.
you talk about sweat it out, nigga. That nigga sweated that shit out before he took a step
Oh
in the
man,
ring.
what nigga showed up like the brothers in Game of Thrones,
Dog.
Hey,
fighting at the
and look, and here's a
niggas
cold
fighting at
part.
the end of the armor.
Talking about the social media era. Now I don't know how real this account was, but I believe the hairstylist came out and said we did the hair on Wednesday. He did practice,
And
press
did
run, and grease was not an issue. So all of a sudden, like now, damn, the hairdresser got to defend herself too. Like, hold on, nigga, don't blame me. Talking about it's too greasy. Like, you know, everybody covering their tracks. So just to cover my tracks too.
uh-oh,
Um,
cover him, cover him.
I'm covering my tracks on that Jay Z shit. It was politics as usual,
Okay.
Okay,
right?
okay,
I'm taking wages down in Vegas
okay,
just in case Tyson have a major night off. That's clean money, the tax write off. You dig? Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. That's politics as usual. Politics as
okay.
usual. But
Okay.
anyway,
Yeah.
So what I was gonna add too, man, is so Tank, I agree with you, Bong, as far as like the world could switch up on you, right? So I'm not saying that Tank got his ass whooped. That didn't happen. It was a close fight. It could have been called a draw. It could have gone either way as far as I was concerned. It just depends on, you know, how a judge actually scores, because I saw one dude break it down and said, "Hey, he had the numbers. He said they landed the same amount of punches this round. So then I'm gonna go to who landed more power punches." And then he
Mm.
was giving the round to the boxer who landed more power punches. So, we lost Bong. I don't know what happened. Um, so
Oh no, I
that's
think he turned his camera. Oh, did he
that
turn it off?
that's kind of, yeah, it looks like he did. That's
Oh,
kind of how I was looking at it. Like it's really close, right?
yeah,
But as
yeah,
far as the post, that the short that was made about the Shakur fight, so I've always said that I would give the edge to Tank. I said it in the short. Now, if you go through all those comments, you will see I'm saying it would be closer than what people think, though.
yeah,
And I'm saying 55-45. There's some people who are on the side of it's a 50-50 fight. I say 55-45 on the side of Tank, in favor of Tank, because of the punching power,
yeah,
right? But who's to say, which I asked a couple people, who's to say Tank doesn't, the scenario I threw out to one guy is exactly what happened with him and Roach. Who's to say Tank doesn't start off slow, and then Shakur banks a lot of rounds, and then he's not able to take him out in the late rounds, and Shakur steals like one or two.
yeah,
You're in the same position, and you
absolutely.
could lose that fight. And
Yeah,
and people think Shakur is even more of a great defender than Lamont Roach or anybody else that Tank has ever seen. That's what they credit Shakur Stevenson for, is his defense. And that's exactly why people are saying this is an example of why Tank doesn't want to fight Shakur, because they believe that this will be the same type of fight, if not worse for him, because of Shakur's defensive prowess. I still, with all that being said, I'm still giving the edge to Tank because of the punching power.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten more aggressive, like you said, KP, if he would have gotten more aggressive in the later rounds, or let's say that knockout happened and he got more aggressive, then he may have gone for the knockout. He may have pressed Roach a little bit more, and it could have been a different type of scenario. But I mean,
So, sorry, I had a little situation, but
you had the
um,
boxing nigga in the back.
I wish. Um, so I heard you saying that that Tank was saying that the rematch is not on his list of next things to do. Listen, man, if you just fought somebody that stylistically pushed you to the limit, or did things that made you uncomfortable, I would stay away from that.
That's not what he said.
Oh, that's not. I thought he
Hell
was saying
no.
that he wasn't going to fight him.
Fuck no. He said he want to run it back. He
Oh,
said he want to run it back in the ring. He said he want to run it back in the press conference. They said he was already in the locker room saying he ain't gonna take no time off. He said he gonna take like a couple days and then he getting right back in the gym to
Mm.
train. So it sounds like he wants the rematch.
so if that's the case, here's the funny thing. If that's the case, who does that sound like in recent memory?
Listen,
Floyd Mayweather with Maidana.
okay, because I was about to take you back for a rematch that I recall, but it wasn't because the nigga requested it. And that was Montel Griffin with Roy Jones Jr. when
Oh yeah.
Roy Jones got disqualified and Griffin was talking all that shit, and then Roy Jones came and made mincemeat of that nigga early in the fight.
Oh yeah.
But you're right, the Maidana and Floyd Mayweather. So I hear you.
Now, a lot has been said about Turkey, right? And that with that Arab, that Middle Eastern money, and how he's tossing the money around and getting us to
Right.
the fights that we want to see. He's basically doing what Dana White has done with UFC, except
Mhm.
he's also paying guys,
I was
right?
gonna
So like
say, yeah, except
they're
for he
getting
actually paying the motherfuckers.
they're getting paid. So like the issue,
They ain't just getting McDonald's points on the app for
right?
fighting niggas.
Exactly. Right. And hey, you get Big Macs for a year if you win fight of the night. Oh,
Right.
Ronald McDonald ass nigga.
Yeah.
So again, the thing with boxing was they were saying like, hey, Al Heyman is paying fighters, but he's not giving us the fights that we want. Then they said, hey, UFC is giving us the fights that we want, but they treat their fighters like shit. Matter of fact, a lot of them started defecting and started going to fight boxers, right? But at the end of the day, if Turkey can get us the fights that we want, and again, Tank Davis is not on Turkey's. He's not like he doesn't have anything in the ring with Tank Davis, right? And I think he was talking about Tank Davis and how he's never seen as much money as Crawford has made, and you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
or Crawford is scheduled
Maybe
to
not.
make fucking with Turkey, and that he understands why he would be salty, but maybe he could do something in the future. So we'll see how that plays out, man. What I will say is Turkey is actually shaking up the boxing, is shaking up the game of boxing because now Al Heyman, you can't sit players on the sideline anymore. We don't want to see that shit no more. This motherfucker's over here making real fights, making credible fights. Bob Arum, is Bob Arum still doing shit?
Uh
Well, I don't know.
yeah, but I mean
This
a lot of
old ass
people are
motherfucker.
a lot of people are like moving away from him though. Like, or at least trying to, like, but I mean Shakur Stevenson said something about him, um where he was just like he says things that don't necessarily promote the fighters. Like he's not necessarily doing the job of a promoter. He's sometimes speaking and giving his opinion, and it's a detriment to actually making big fights happen. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So
yeah. So, I mean, listen, I'll say this: Tank. It's a lot of motherfuckers starting to, etch that stone on your headstone for you, right? They starting to put the
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, put the hammer to the screw and put that Tank Davis headstone with the, born and died.
The
So
sunrise, sunset.
yeah.
exactly. Like they do my boy Ricky from Boys in the Hood every year. They give us that sunrise sunset. But if you are dedicated and you want to take on this rematch,
Mm-hmm.
and if he does, I think Tank is gonna beat the shit out of Lamont Roach the second time around. Because if you can't beat him the second time around, then it's one of two things. Either you really are that close to retirement where you can't put guys away like you once did, or this is just a Styles makes fight type of matchup that you just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't win. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if he wants to take the rematch right away, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? It shows that he's dedicated to the sport.
And we got George who said a couple things. He brought up a good point. He says Top Rank is still moving as far as Bob Arum. Bob Arum still has an ESPN contract, and he does. And as a matter of fact, that reminds me, like, he's got one of the best up and coming fighters in Abdullah Mason. And he's been fighting, and I think he may have been on some of those ESPN cards, George. So Bob Arum is still in the game. The point I was making is that there are some veteran fighters. I think Tyson Fury's with them also, but there's some other veteran fighters who are like, they don't want to rock with him, and I think Bud was one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now to your point, Ubang, he's rocking with Turkey and getting more money, or so they say, than he's ever seen. I don't see the contracts, but you know, that's what he says, that's what they say, and that's the vibe around it, that they are trying to make the fights that people don't normally make or wouldn't normally make. But um as far as Tank goes, though, I just wanted to be clear that I still would give him the edge against Roach in a rematch. I would give him the edge. In a fight with Shakur, I would give him the edge. At the same time, I'm not just saying that he's rolling over these people, right? And as far as you touched on something earlier, Bong, pause, but you had said something about him talking about Bud would be a challenge, but it was the weight or something like that,
Yeah,
or
only
because of the weight.
because of his size. Stop it. Yeah, I mean,
That
I get it,
right. That
but
and that's what I'm
but you can
saying. Like,
also tell that that's because he's had back and forths. He's had these, they have exchanges on social media with Bud, and remember,
yeah,
Shakur
he don't
Shakur
he
is
don't
in
like him.
Shakur is Bud's boy, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, that's
again,
his
so you got
protege
Shakur, you got
basically.
Bud, so he basically like, man, fuck all y'all, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? But I thought Shakur and Tank used to be cool though.
Um, I mean, they all are until it's time to start talking about who's
Yeah,
best, and then people
Yeah.
start talking all of that shit.
and then it kind of
And
goes off the rails.
absolutely. But see, the thing is, you know, again, and I know we don't want to spend the whole night on this, but Bong, you said some shit about Keyshawn Davis earlier. He just won the belt at lightweight.
Yeah, no, Keisha, and he looked
Sh-
good doing it.
Shakur has a belt at lightweight. Those two say they don't want to fight each other. Now they're cool, and they
Yeah.
say they don't want to fight each other. Who else has a belt?
Hey,
Tank, you got a belt. Like,
yeah,
y'all all you guys are all in the same division. Ain't
Yeah.
nobody got to move up or move down. So my,
unify that
my
shit.
my point about you talking about the weight is like, stop. Okay, fuck the weight. Don't talk about Bud in, which you shouldn't be anyway. Just talk about the people that are in the division.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a whole lot of fights to be made in that division.
and here And not to pivot, but speaking of Bud, what has happened to Earl Spence since that Bud fight is crazy as hell. This nigga basically, it's almost like this nigga fell off the face of the earth. Every time I see this nigga just look like he don't have no confidence. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with
Well, well,
me?
and you, well, he's he was supposed to fight Fendora, Sebastian Fendora, and I think he was saying something about PEDs and stuff like that. So I don't know how true it is
Oh,
and all of that. That Spence been saying a lot of stuff about people using performance enhancements in boxing.
hold on, alluding to Tank. You,
No, no, no,
oh,
no, no, no.
oh,
I said he was supposed to fight Sebastian Fendora.
oh, okay, got you. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah. So,
no,
but he's been talking about boxing and how he's been saying a lot how
man,
promoters ain't for the fighters and people
Mm.
using PEDs like boxing is like
Bernard
trash now. A lot of the stuff that they doing now.
Bernard Hopkins, he speaks about this a lot. If you ever hear him talk about it, it's interesting. Where he talks about like the like the like the toll that taking a loss that like Spence took to Crawford, the toll it takes on your body and the toll it takes on your mind as a fighter, and how like that loss took something from Spence that he'll never get back. You know what I'm saying? The way Tank beat him. And it's true. Like he doesn't look the same. He walks around like he doesn't have confidence anymore, right?
Mm.
Um, Bud really beat the shit out of his ass. And it wasn't even close. And he just hasn't looked the same. And I don't know if he'll ever look the same or if he'll ever have another big fight. Like that was how long ago was that fight? With him and Bud.
Was
Man,
that
it's
2 years
crazy.
ago?
Yeah,
Like 2 years?
boxing be. I mean, the years be moving so fast, man. Like
That was like 2 years ago, wasn't
I know Crawford has only had one fight since, though. One fight at 154.
it?
Yeah. So I mean, that's crazy that Spence isn't even trying to get that smell off of him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, man, go get you a little tune up fight. Go fight you a janitor or a PE teacher or a baker. You know what I'm saying?
Do it
Go
like
get somebody in the ring that's just gonna make you feel good. Baby, I just want
do it
that
do it like
feeling
yeah.
back.
Do it
I
like
want
George
that
Foreman after he lost to Ali. He fought 6 guys in one day. Do, do it like that.
yeah, man. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
I wanted to go back and clarify something. George, you said wrong that Keyshawn called Bud out. What part were you saying was wrong? You said, I mean, Keyshawn called Tank out after he won last week. And if what I was saying is that it's Tank that's not fight like making the fights happen at lightweight in that division. Like he could like that Shakur fight if it's and listen, again, even though I give Tank the edge, this is what I always wonder. If a fight is so easy for you and you think you'll just blow by somebody and it's easy money. No, no, no. I didn't say Keyshawn didn't call Tank out. I said Tank isn't fighting the people in lightweight. Um and again, if it's so easy, like everybody thinks he'll just mow over Shakur, that's a money fight. And if it's an
Big
easy night
money.
for you, get the money.
Take the fight.
I
Yeah.
don't understand
Oh, I think DP froze on
Yeah,
us,
that
huh?
that's
real quick.
big. Yeah.
Okay.
You said
Now
you said what, KP?
You was
I think he
glitching,
froze
man.
up.
Oh,
Come on.
now
Come,
I'm glitching.
yeah,
Wait,
I'm glitch.
come
I'm
on.
glitch cup check now.
Yeah, man. Mitch Glitchman, man. Come on, man.
Oh man. No, I said I don't see why cats just don't make the fights. Why these fighters just don't make those fights. Bong, you agreed like the Shakur fight, that's a money fight.
yeah,
And
that's
if
a
it's
big money
so
fight.
easy, if it's so easy, what is why not? I know the business side of it and the promoters get in the way sometimes, but if you're the fighter and that's what you want, Make it happen.
When you froze up. Hey, again, hey, listen, if
My
y'all
eyes must
rocking
have
with
been
us right
bugged
now,
or something.
please like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate it. You know
What
what I'm saying?
KP
Absolutely. Come
Wi-Fi
on,
is
man.
on point today. Got to give props. Shout out to it.
Absolutely. Come on, engineer.
Hey, engineer, you've been in through the good times and bad.
Come on.
Hell yeah. Hey, look
hey,
like
hey.
KP's Wi-Fi got a fresh haircut.
Oh, for sure.
Woo, crispy. It's crispy.
George said I look like I saw an extraterrestrial. Man, eyes must have been bugged, huh?
Nah, see what happens is, I'm that guy at the free throw line that's been knocking the free throws down all day, and the announcers like he can't miss. That's engineer right now. Engineer just put a damn hex on the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Right,
and
right,
now
right.
it's gonna be like,
Yeah, next 5 minutes, man. I'm gonna be pop locking.
Hey man,
oh shit.
I really want to shoot a shout out to my boy George, man, for really, like, this is boxing is really what he does. Like, that's his thing. You know what I'm saying? So him getting in here and having a little back and forth with us, and bringing one of his boys in here, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no doubt. No doubt.
Absolutely.
So man, yeah, I know we don't want to spend the entire night on boxing. We done probably talked a lot about that. Uh ran some points in the ground, but um let's move on and discuss
Some more. Let's stay with the bravado, Wayne. Let's stay with the DP. Let's stay with the bravado.
you let me know what you talking about.
Man, hey man, there's two real bravado sports out there. It's football and boxing. Those are the two bravado sports.
Okay. So with this, so then let's move to the
Yeah, we
NFL combine stuff,
on to that
man.
bravado. Yeah, let's stay on that bravado.
So I know there were some folks who decided they wouldn't participate in the NFL combine.
yep.
Um and we'll kind of get to some of that in a minute, but um were there any guys you guys want your squad to go after, or you saw and it's like, well, this dude is a standout?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead,
Hey man, look.
go ahead.
I'm not. I don't have anyone in particular that I want my squad to go after. Um, I still need to see a little bit more, and need to go back and look at the college footage and stuff like that. I don't want to just go off the combine and be a prisoner of the moment. But there were some people that did impress me at the combine, so I will say that.
Okay. And
There were,
who are those?
there were a few. Brady Cook, quarterback from Missouri. Um, he was projected to. He wasn't even projected to be drafted by most draft experts, but he actually threw the ball pretty well, and his times were pretty impressive. Like he ran a 4.5 40, 37-inch vert, the 10.8 broad jump, 10 feet 8 inches on the broad jump.
Mm-hmm.
So he's put himself in a pretty good position to get drafted. This year, his stats at Missouri didn't look good. 2,500 yards, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 62% passing. But if you take a deeper dive, you'll realize the year before he probably should have came out, but he threw for over 3,000 yards. He had 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and completed 66% of his passes.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a better season, and then he came back for one more, got that NIL bag, and kind of
Ain't nothing
stuck
wrong
it
with
up.
that.
No, it's
Kind of
not.
stuck it up. But he's making a name for himself in this combine. So that was a feel good story. Um, Jason Pierce Jr. He is the DN for Tennessee. Really
Mm-hmm.
stuck out. Watch this guy. That he was fast, like very fast. 6'5", 243 pounds. Ran a 4.47
Mm-hmm.
40-yard run. He was one off. I think it might have been 4.48. He was one
No,
off.
it's 447.
Okay, one. He was 1/100th of a second away from having the fastest time in the combine for that day. And
Mm-hmm.
that day they had your D linemen and your linebackers. There was only one other person that ran it faster than him.
Mm-hmm.
But his vertical jump wasn't impressive, 31 inches. His broad jump, 10 foot 3 inches. It was cool. But I mean, he's also a gamer. He had 71 tackles on the season, 44 solo tackles, 29 and a half tackles for losses.
Mm-hmm.
He had an interception and a touchdown.
Yeah,
So
he was already projected as a top 10. By the way.
absolutely. And so that combine just kind of solidified him. A couple other guys was the receiver from Texas, Matthew Golden, not to be
Mm-hmm.
mistaken with Isaiah Bond, who said he was going to break
Break
the record.
Xavier
Yeah,
Worthy's
Xavier Worthy's record.
yeah,
40
that he was
passing
going to
yards.
break the record. Yeah, so not only did he not break the record, but he wasn't the fastest guy on his team at the same position. It
Mm-hmm.
was Matthew Golden who ran a 4.2940.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Most draft experts considered him a late first rounder going into the draft combine. This has just helped kind of solidify he'll be a first rounder. When I looked at his stats in college, he had 14 kickoff returns for 437 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. He also had 76 receptions for 988 yards and 13 touchdowns. So this guy gets in the end zone. So it's what I like to see is I like to see guys perform well at the combine, but then when you go and you look them up and you do a little research, you see, okay, you know what? They're just backing up what they've already been doing in college. So
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
so he I'll say this. He only ran the 40, right? He didn't
yeah,
do anything else. Like that's a dude that already knows like I'm probably going to be a first round draft pick. I'll come out
Right.
in 40. I'll show them anything they want to see at my pro day, right? But he had the he has the cachet or he has enough status that he didn't really have to go out there and grind it out, right?
yeah,
So yeah, that was definitely a good look for him. Them
Mm-hmm.
Texas boys, you know what I'm saying? Uh, yeah, their receiving core looked really good during the season, and I expect some first round picks to come out of that. Right now, wide receiver is a premier position, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys at the top of the charts are getting paid 35 million. You know what I'm saying? Between 30 and 35 million. So, right now, as far as importance of the positions go, it's quarterback, left tackle, DN, wide receiver. Like
Mm-hmm.
those are the four premium positions in the NFL. Speaking of quarterbacks, one of the quarterbacks that's expected to go in the first round and didn't really work out was Cam Ward, and um, I don't
gonna
know
have to.
if it was by design, but him
Yeah,
and
Of
Shador
course.
have been like kind of like locked at the hip, where they've been shooting a lot of content together. Some real entertaining, real cool. It seems like they have like a brotherhood. And uh, Cam Ward didn't participate in the combine, but there was a lot of talk just based on just a bunch of reports that I'm reading. There's a lot of talk about, you know, um, that coaches were enamored by him and that there's a good chance that he could go number one or be the first quarterback taken in the draft. So
Well, that's what
that was
a lot of
surprising.
people been saying that for a minute. That
Yeah.
they think it's gonna be Ward then Shador. And
Well,
I
they're
do,
saying he could go one.
yeah, yeah. I do think it's by design too, for
Yeah.
sure. Like I mean, they've been doing stuff together, workouts and all that other stuff. Like Shador, which I respect, like he knows that he's a main attraction. So to get eyes on his guys, and I'm sure this is his dad behind him too. They're
Hmm.
gonna have, hey, come to the the pro day at Colorado, and I'm gonna throw to my receivers. Y'all could also evaluate my receivers, give them a chance to be seen and possibly jump up on some draft boards. So I respect it. They're not the first person to do it. Like it happens, especially when you know that you're going to be a top pick, like your spot is pretty much solidified. I might go 1 through 5 or something like that. Then it's like, okay, why do I need to show you all of, why do I need to go and throw? You already know what I can do. Like,
Mhm.
I'll show up and interview, I'll show up and talk and do those things, so you can find out more about my personality, if you have some questions there. But other than that, like, holla at me at the pro day.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
can we highlight? I want to highlight something the engineer said because I want to mention. I want to talk about that. Talk about this person real quick and address what he's saying. Okay, and so you're talking about Dante Thornton Jr., physical specimen. Um, One of the things that I was saying though, when I was talking about guys that impressed, I was saying I go back and I do my homework and look at their collegiate stats to kind of help solidify who they are as a player
Kevin
and what they look like.
Fitzpatrick.
And so when you look at Dante Thornton's stats, that was kind of a head scratcher because it's like this guy's a physical specimen at 6'5", running a 4.3. What the heck is going on? He played for Tennessee, and in his senior year, he had 26 receptions for 661 yards and 6 touchdowns. Now he's averaging 25 yards a catch, a reception. However, his ability to impact games is questioned, and you know where's his consistent? He has a lack of consistency. So yes, he is a specimen. Let me make that clear. Someone's going to give him an opportunity, but um, yeah, it's just one of those things. So I did look at his college stats, and that's why I didn't mention him.
hey, you know who may have helped himself in the draft,
Huh.
and I know engineer spoke about him last week, but um, Omarion Hampton out of UNC.
Oh yeah,
Man, I
yeah,
wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if he gets picked in the back end of the first round. Um, he looked good in the combine. He's already, again, Ashton Genty gets all the acclaim. He was fighting to win the Heisman. So
Hmm.
again, yeah, he'll get the acclaim, but this running back class, as it always is, remember, we're just looking for young, fresh legs, that haven't been run to the ground, uh, like by Alabama, like Nick Saban used to love to do. And then
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
have another standout to me, Travion Henderson from what was that, Ohio
I was just
State.
looking at, yeah, Ohio
yeah.
State.
Man, hey, that's another one that you can get him later in the draft, maybe second, third round.
Hmm.
But man, I like the the
Yeah,
running
he
back class.
he broke some big plays this year too.
At the
And I think
Hamptons.
his and I think he's close to hovering around a 40-inch vertical, like 4.4 or something like that. He may have been a little bit over that, but I
I
know
think he
he
was,
did. He had some pretty solid. He tested well athletically.
yeah, he
So
had a
he's
4.4, a 4.43 40, and
okay.
38.5-inch
Yeah.
vertical.
See.
So he is
Yeah.
damn near
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his
So,
broad jump?
let me see. Shit. Now my
Um.
little stat sheet fucking up.
No doubt. Um. So y'all, man, y'all named a lot of people. So I'm not gonna.
Another guy, and
Here we go.
I'd be remiss if I didn't. There's two guys. But I'd be remiss if I didn't say this guy, Maxwell Hairston,
Yeah.
fastest guy at the combine,
Yeah.
out of Kentucky, 6'1". He's actually a junior, so 6'1" junior, cornerback, and so one of the things I said, I look at the stats. His junior stats, they're not eye popping at all. He had 19 total tackles, 15 of them were solo. He had one sack, two forced fumbles, one interception for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that sounds, yeah, that's the other guy I'm going to mention. Um, but staying on Maxwell Harrison, his sophomore year, he actually had 66 total tackles, 53 solo tackles, a forced fumble, five interceptions, two of them returned for touchdowns.
And
So
he's in that SEC.
Absolutely. So
So
he did a really good job his sophomore year of putting himself in a position his junior year to be able to be an early entrant
yeah,
into that draft.
he's an athlete, man. He's a serious athlete. I'm not gonna name a. Go ahead.
And the last guy, can you highlight who this guy that engineer brought up? Yes. And I'm not even gonna butcher, so I might say his name wrong. Nick
Emin
Eminwari.
Emin Worry.
Yeah, Eminwari. So Nick Eminwari out of South Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
arguably the best athlete at the combine. Best athlete. Like, and I don't even think it's close. Ran a 4.3 40,
Yeah, his was.
43-inch
Yeah,
vertical
that shit was
jump.
ridiculous. Yeah,
11-foot 6-inch standing vertical broad jump.
he's the kind of guy, Bong. As a Cowboys fan,
Yeah,
I want him back there as a safety.
You
yeah.
know,
He
so
kind of
You
reminds you
you
of Byron Jones.
yeah.
Remember
Got
him?
the lint. Yeah. You know who else I'd like to see back there, possibly, if they can snag him? Malachi Starks out of
so,
Georgia.
so
Ridiculous skills. Go ahead, KP.
oh no. So this dude Nick, it so
Amen Worry.
yeah, no. I know. I wasn't, it wasn't the last name. I was just saying, I was trying to get my words together. Um so I'm making a comparison. And when I make my comparisons, I try not to shoot for Hall of Famers and stuff like that. I'll just say a player that comes to my mind when I look at his physical build and I'm looking at how he moves and his physicality. Taylor Mays.
Oh, Taylor
Now,
Taylor
and
Mays.
I think Taylor Mays could have been a hell of a. I think he was a hell of a football player. He didn't have a hell of a career in the NFL.
You think it was system? Just the wrong
Yes,
system?
yes, yes.
Because Taylor
But
Mays was ridiculous in college.
this, yeah, I see this guy. I'm like, this is the new age Taylor Mays. This is, but I believe he's gonna have a better career than Taylor Mays.
Okay.
But I see
Now,
Taylor Mays.
I don't have a long list. I'm gonna keep it short because I know we got another topic we trying to get to before we get out of here. Um, I did put out a short.
Hmm.
I was pretty confident that this dude was gonna be in the mix. Um, as far as the 40 times go, and that was Arian Smith out of Georgia. Um, and he didn't run slow. He ran a 4.36, but that was the fourth best time out of the
Okay, yeah,
receivers.
that's not slow.
But it was well off of the record, Worthy's record, and
Yeah.
I was saying that he would have the fastest time, and it would be hovering around that. So I was dead wrong. But
You're
then
dead wrong.
then the sleeper that I had, I'll just call him a sleeper, was Harold Fenton Jr. He's a tight end out of Bowling Green, and he was the first tight end to be conference player of the year in the MAC. Dude, he was looking like the best tight end out there.
They
Like
didn't look good to me. I was
he
looking.
he looked like the best one out there.
Okay, I was like,
Like
this is a weak
dog, he
trade
had
class right now.
the muscle hands, man. Like looked like he was squeezing the air out the ball every time he caught it in the gauntlet drill. And I
Yeah.
was like, who is it? Who is this dude? But like I would say look out for him to be like one of those guys who might be sneaky good. I watched some of his film too. He's physical.
Mhm.
Not the biggest guy. But he could be like a pass catching tight end, might end up if you got a two tight end set like Baltimore has, and like you have Likely who kind of gets loose a little bit more, like he could do something like that. So I'm just calling him as a sleeper right now. Y'all called a lot of the players that I was looking at too, or some of the players I was looking at, so I'm not gonna go back and forth about it. But good job, Kevin Fitzpatrick. Bong, did you have anybody else that you wanted to
Um,
highlight before we keep
I
it
mean,
pushing?
the guys I want to highlight again, Tet McMillan out of Arizona. He didn't participate. I think he
Another one. Yep.
he did the interviews, but he's gonna be in that top
Top 10.
12, top
Yep.
12, 15.
Yep.
Um, there was news about was it a stress fracture with Abdul Carter,
Yeah.
his foot. So
Where
they're
he was
weighing
contemplating surgery
surgery.
for yeah.
Absolutely. And whole time I'm thinking, damn, can he drop to 12?
Yeah, really, right? Hey, yo, that would be crazy. That would be
Is
crazy.
that shit bad enough to make him drop to 12?
That would be crazy. Hey, who let me ask you just real quick. What position do you think they're gonna target? You think it's gonna be running back first just because it's
Um,
okay,
I think they can go pick up a running back in like the third
because
round.
it's deep, yeah.
I
Pause.
think if
O-line again.
McMillan is there in the if McMillan is there at 12, they'll get a receiver because again,
Which I wouldn't be mad at.
or they may go O line because remember, I'm just talking about like price tag, right?
Yeah.
You go and get a true receiver to go with CD. You're looking even if it's a second tier.
And we're talking Dallas Cowboys, y'all, because we're saying if they, and he just said CD to indicate, but it's Dallas Cowboys.
um, you really
All he needs is the bong mask.
so you're gonna pay top dollar. So if
Hmm.
you can snag one in, at 12, if you can get a Tet McMillan at 12, that's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you can go O line, we just Cowboys just lost Zach Martin to retirement at
Yep.
the end of this past season, so we need to replace him. And I think an emphasis is going to be put on running the ball, just based on the coaching staff they've brought in, which
Absolutely.
I initially was um, kind of kind of iffy about, but looking at all their resumes and what they bring to the table, I think they've really established a really good coaching staff. Yet to be seen, we have to see it on the field. Something that was telling last year during the combine, Jerry Jones, I guess every year, Jerry Jones gets on his bus, damn near like the Madden bus, and he holds court and he does interviews from on his team bus.
Hmm.
And last year during the combine on the team bus was when he said the all in statement. This year, Jerry Jones declined to speak.
Mm.
Now, since when has Jerry Jones shied away from the camera or shied away from? So what that's telling me is somebody's finally got in his ear and said, Jerry, let's tone it down. Let's focus on football this offseason and let our acquisitions, let our draft speak for us. Put no
Hmm.
pressure on your new head coach. And so far, Jerry's been pretty quiet. Hey, listen, if we get Genty, I'm not crying. I'm not complaining if we can get Genty at 12. I'll take as a Cowboys fan, I'll take Genty at 12. I'll take Tet at 12. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Shit. I'll take a Marion at 12. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But my thing is if you're gonna go and I do agree that there's a good amount of running backs out there that I think could be effective like first year.
yeah,
If
right
if
away.
you if you are since that's the case and you say, okay, hey, I'm gonna address it in the later rounds,
Yeah,
I would just get who you think is the best player, period. Like who is the best guy, and
yeah,
then just go from there. Like if you think it's Tet and he's available, cool. If you think it's another receiver and that receiver's available, cool. Like do it. But you're gonna have to address maybe then you start addressing your needs like O line. I don't know if there's really a center they had their eyes on. I'm sure they're looking at somebody or a guard who's interchangeable. And then just focus on that from maybe rounds 2, 3. May still be some of those running backs left in the fourth.
a lot of these centers or a lot of these O linemen, the guys that go in the first round in that top 15, they typically don't miss and they have
Mhm.
long careers. So you're
Yeah.
gonna have them locked up for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So
it,
yeah,
you know,
I'm this kind of made me be like, man, fast forward to April, man.
hey,
So
a Mecca for man, he trying to engineers trying to overhaul that receiver position. So you still have um damn, what is that man's name? Collins, right? You have Collins over there. You'd have to say that Diggs is gone. What is this man's first name? Why am I forgetting his name?
Who, Nico
Yes, you
Collins?
have Nico. No, you have Nico Collins. That's what I'm saying. You got Collins over there. Diggs,
Stephon
Stephon
Diggs?
Diggs
Oh, okay.
is gone. Who knows what's going to happen with the young man that broke his leg or messed up his the one that got shot in the off season.
Mm.
He was the receiver. Remember, like towards he was picking up the slack for Stephon Diggs, and then he got hurt in the scored a
Oh,
touchdown.
I,
Tank Dell.
yeah, Tank Dell. I was gonna say out
Yeah,
of
Tank.
Houston, Tank
I
Dell.
think yeah,
We were talking about him last or a couple episodes ago.
yeah. Engineer just
On
confirmed.
injury.
Yeah, I think it might be over for Tank. I mean, too many injuries. That's back to back seasons with big time injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
On the young
Hmm.
player, man, they don't get better. As they get older. So, um, we'll see. But yeah, Emeka at 25, that's a good look to pair with Nico. That's a good look at wide receiver, man. You have to give some help to your quarterback. Obviously, you guys still have Joe Mixon. Mixon looked really well, even though he
Got banged up toward the
towards the
end
end
of the yeah,
he kind of ran out of gas
yeah.
towards the end of the season. But all in all, man, I think you guys have some pieces to build off of over there. Um, there was a trade, obviously. Trades come with right before the draft. So during the combine and leading up to the draft, you're going to see teams willing and dealing, trying to get draft capital so that they can build their rosters. And Debo Samuel got traded from the 49ers to the Washington Commanders for a fifth round pick.
A fifth round pick,
Fifth round pick.
which makes the Commanders better, in my opinion. Makes them more dynamic. The
Yeah.
That much
offense for sure.
Yeah.
And guess what? It was I think somebody from the front office of San Francisco went over to I think it was the assistant GM went over to Washington,
Yeah.
and so that was an in-house deal. You could tell Debo wasn't happy last year. He was complaining once they start chirping to the media talking about, oh, I get open, but they're not getting me the ball. What's next. And DP, like you said in one of the shorts earlier, they're clearing that space, that cap space, to
Yeah.
go and pay your boy Brock
Brock
Purdy.
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 Back
Now
up the Brinks truck for Purdy.
the only question is how much? Because are you going to
He
pay
gonna
him
be in the
top?
50s.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
they are. I think they are.
they're going to make him the high. Well, he'll be in the
Not the
50s.
highest paid, but he gonna be in the 50s. He
Okay,
gonna be in the 50s.
and for context, and again, I know we're not talking about we're not talking about salaries, right? Because salaries also play a part, and I think the Cowboys use salary to justify some of the stuff that they do. But I think what did the Cowboys give up to get Jonathan Mingo from the Carolina Panthers, who was about to get waived potentially? I think they got a
Mm,
third round.
I don't recall, but if it was a third, that's
He,
too high.
well, it was a third because I know they don't have a fourth, so
Okay, so then
they
yeah.
can't. They can't.
Engineer says it was a fourth round. It
Okay, it
was a
was a
fourth
fourth
round.
round. So they gave up a fourth round
Yeah.
pick for Jonathan Mingo. The Washington Commanders, a well-run organization,
Yeah.
gave up a fifth round pick
A fifth
for
round pick for Debo. Like what the
Yeah.
fuck? What are we doing? What's going
Well,
on?
it was also an exchange for the seventh round pick. Come on.
yeah,
Give the Cowboys a little bit more credit.
yeah.
Look,
Look, you see the
look,
credit right here. Look, there you
hey,
go.
but see, hey, and Bong, one thing that that we don't need to just
Oh
gloss
man.
over while we talk about this. We need to point this out because I believe I don't recall exactly when you said it, but we were talking about how teams are constructed and how you have a young quarterback who's on a a rookie deal, and you try to maximize that time while you have that quarterback.
Right.
You can put these high paid pieces around that guy
Yes.
until you have to pay Jaden Daniels that $50 million or 60, 70 million by the time it's time to pay him. So you can get a Debo and put him around him and get another guy and get another guy, and you still have him on his rookie deal. So for San Francisco, it's offloading the money, which puts them in a position to do what they need to do with Purdy. But then for the Commanders, it's getting pieces that will enhance, what Jaden Daniels can do in that offensive system. So it works out for both teams if you look at it and break it down that way. And we've talked about like, how you find your guy and if it's your long term quarterback and it's like let's do what we can while he's still in, like with Purdy. Like what is this? His going into his fourth year?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now it's time to pay the man, so they say, if you think he's worth it. So you probably got what, maybe two more years with Jaden Daniels, 2 3.
Yeah.
Then you have to pay the man if
Yeah.
he's still performing at a high level, and then maybe it becomes harder to
And,
get the
and we
guy.
ass- and we assume he will. We
Yeah.
assume he will. But no, engineer, you weren't wrong. It was a fourth. It was a fourth round pick that the Cowboys acquired Jonathan Mingo for. But um, you know, but hey, listen. I think everybody in the NFL, the good teams, I'll continue to say it, the
Hmm.
top 7 or 8 teams are. It's an arms race, bro. Like
Yeah.
who can acquire the most weapons,
Hmm.
because when it comes time, you're gonna need to have weapons on both sides of the ball, on offense, on defense, some decent guys on special teams. But it's an arms race, man. And Debo that's, for whatever you say about him, he's an asset, and they can use him because he's I was just about to say dynamic, and I thought about the word. What was the word you used earlier?
Dynamism.
Hey, hey, and look at that. We got
uh,
a comment from Red's Barbershop,
Yeah, I
man.
was gonna say that. Shout out to Red's Barbershop. We always like to welcome folks. What's up to y'all? Red's Barbershop is talking about the Tank. I'm assuming that's the Tank choice to take the knee in the ninth round. Um,
Yeah,
and he follows that up with, it worked,
it worked.
and it and
It's,
and it and it did.
we
So
call it a calculated risk.
yeah, yeah, and it worked for him. So, um, yeah. Once again, shout out Red's Barbershop. Hopefully, we got you on here, liking and subscribing.
Absolutely,
Um,
we
you know,
appreciate it. We appreciate it. Yes,
um,
indeed. But again, so it's a lot of these the top teams. You're going to see them continue to will and deal, continue to get
hmm
better,
hmm
uh, do what they got to do or whatever. But um, yeah, man, this NFL season should be a good one. Let's see what the Eagles have to have as an encore, because man,
yeah,
looking back on that NFL season, the Eagles they have a claim that they could claim to be one of the top teams in the last, man,
for sure. I would say five for sure. Five,
man,
five, five for sure.
man.
5 to 7. I'm not going. You
I
gonna go
give
10? You gonna go the last decade?
they had
Last decade?
DP.
When was it? When was the Foles Super Bowl? When was the Nick Foles Super Bowl?
That was it was
Was
it
that
was
the 18th? The 2018.
2018.
better than that team.
Okay, but I'm saying like that's 7.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna verify that.
But I'd say in the
I'll go
last 10 years for sure.
10. You go 10.
Dude,
Oh,
they
okay.
had studs across the board on. But I'm talking about when we talk about
2018. Hold on.
coordinators, players, the mix of rookies and vets.
The
Man,
so this is what
Saquon,
listen to what I'm saying about this, man.
yeah,
When and Bong, I remember when I was talking about, oh man, Dallas should draft. When I was talking about all the Georgia dudes, draft them, and Philly did it
yeah,
year after year, year
yeah.
after year. That's an NFL ready system. Georgia and Alabama. When you're looking at those schools, those top tier schools in the SEC, it's no secret if they're performing well there, it's
And they're being
they're probably gonna do it in the NFL, man.
and they have the pedigree at the coaching position, so you know they're being coached well.
Come on,
Right?
man.
But Dallas, nah, we like to go the Michigan route, the fuck ups. Niggas that don't pan out, niggas that don't pan out like that. We looking at Tom Brady and Charles Woodson as like the Michigan standouts. Outside of that, man, let me not
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that. But I just know that the last couple that we got from Michigan, man, they sold us some lemons.
Mm.
Y'all didn't go to the Orange Bowl. Y'all went to the Lemon Bowl.
Well,
It brought us the likes of what's our tight end from Michigan? We got the tight end from Michigan. Then we got Mozzie Smith. We also
Mozzie, and
have
I was about to say something about Mozzie Smith.
Schoonmaker.
Yeah, yeah,
Schoonmaker,
yeah,
the
yeah,
tight
yeah.
end. Mozzie Smith. We had a DN that we got out of Michigan a few years back that didn't pan out. He was our
It,
first round pick.
maybe it's defensive scheme, man. I don't know. Maybe we'll see if it changes around this year. I want to give some of those guys like Smith a shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe he will pan out. You know what I'm saying? But um, I don't want to spend too much more time on the draft, man, because we are kind of running out of time. So let's keep it pushing to our last topic, which is what a couple people were saying some things about earlier. I don't know if George is still with us, but he was talking about Luca and what Luca did, um, and the actual topic we were talking about is who's the face of the league, right? And kind of what had us going back and forth, and we had to just kind of put a cap on it so we would discuss it on the show, was when LeBron made the comment in the locker room after the game. I forget which game it was, but he's saying, why would Anthony Davis want to be the face of the league, right? Someone asked him the question about him being the face. He said, why would he want to be the face of a league where all the people who cover our sport basically talk trash about, all the stars and all the players? And my stance on that was, LeBron is right. Like, I don't think he's wrong. Like, why would he want to be? At the same time, I also said, just like Red's Barbershop said, it was a choice that Tank took the knee. It was a choice that LeBron was the face of the league. Like, you don't have to be politically correct. You don't have to say all the right things if you don't want to. You don't have to assume that role. But if you want to, and if you want to be greater than Jordan, which we all know that he wants to be, like, you are going to do those things. You are
Right.
going to be the I want to be like Mike guy. You want to be the I want to be like LeBron guy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I was looking at it like, LeBron, you are that guy, the face of the league kind of guy. Guess what? Anthony Edwards is more of a Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant happens to be his favorite player anyway, right? Kevin
Right.
Durant doesn't have a face of the league kind of attitude. Kevin Durant is clapping back at the media, and whoever got something to say, he got something to say back. That's more along the lines of what Anthony Edwards is, in my opinion. And Edwards himself said, y'all got Wimby for that. Y'all already got the guy, the straight laced dude that you could push to be the face of the league and be the superstar. But the one thing I wanted to throw in terms of that is another curve. And then I'm gonna throw it, let y'all say what y'all want to say. The other curve in that is you have this. We don't want the American players. We don't want to turn the league over to the European players. So we don't want Wemby to be the face of the league. We're looking for the next American player who can step up and assume the LeBron and Steph Curry role because they're on their way out. They're on the last leg of this race. So who's going to be that guy? Anthony Edwards don't want to be, and I don't even think he. Kevin, you said you think he does have the personality for it. I said I don't think he does.
I'm waiting to reserve. I'm waiting until it's my turn to talk. I'm not going
Hey,
to get any
I just wanted
inkling
to.
of anything.
I just wanted to lay those points out. So it would be LeBron has the personality for it, right? And it's almost like LeBron is also bigging himself up as well on the sly because it's like, why would he want to be the face of the league? Look at what you guys do. I've endured this all these years, and look at how I'm making it happen still. So it's almost like I'm low key advising him not to. Yeah, man, you don't want this.
But
You don't know
LeBron,
what comes with this.
but LeBron was also drafted in an era where you were groomed to be the face of the league, right? LeBron wasn't trying to be the face of the league when he first came in, but what happened was Kobe Bryant has the Denver, Colorado scandal hit, and it was just the perfect time, some would say, the perfect setup to hand the league off to LeBron. LeBron took off. His popularity, his all his big time endorsements and all that stuff
Straight out of high
happened
school.
around the
90
time.
million, yeah, $90 million Nike contract.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And
you know,
Kobe got the $40 million contract in that same year. So
yeah.
yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
And it was pre-social media.
absolute,
That's another thing.
Yeah,
absolutely,
Yeah.
pre-social media.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, what you mean pre-social media, baby? We had MySpace and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But go ahead, Kev.
Nah.
I'll let you take the floor.
Um, so I'm gonna first start by saying that we often say the face of the league. I would say faces of the league because I don't think it's just one guy. I think it's a group of guys. I think it may be two guys, four guys, five guys. Right now, when you say face
Do
of the
burgers
league,
and fries come with that?
absolutely.
Okay.
Uh,
If you're the face of the league,
All right.
um, so in talking about the face of the league, we've got LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
we've got Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he likes it or not, I still look at Kevin Durant as a face of the league because he's a fan favorite. And when you and the
A,
fans
a
want,
fan favorite unless your name is Bong.
yeah. Uh,
hey,
and
no,
so, um,
I love his game.
so he's
Hate his
he
choices.
so he's still, so I would say it's those three guys. He's still up there. There were
Okay.
guys that were jockeying for that once upon a time, but they since fell by the kind of by the wayside. Um, with Kawhi being one, with James Harden being one, they've now fell, and it's like being the king, the Lion King. Once you fall from being the Lion King and you're overthrown, you can never be the king again. You
Mm.
just keep going lower and lower and lower. So that's what this is. So right now, I would say those three are at the top. Right, I'll say those three as far as the American players. I will agree with you that America wants to make basketball the American game.
Yes.
Yes, it was invented in Canada. So let me start by saying yes, I do understand the history. It was invented in Toronto, Canada,
Yeah.
1896. Dr. James Naismith. So I do
Ha-
understand that. Do
Have you
know
guys seen Court of Gold on Netflix?
I have not. I
Michael
have not.
Wilbon made a comment like Canada has their national sport. It's hockey.
Yeah,
And he was like, basketball is ours. Like, so, but go ahead to
yeah.
that point.
So I do understand that. But most of your NBA teams, which I would say the NBA is the best league in the world, the most competitive, has the best players in the world playing in it. Um, Most of your teams are in the United States, with the exception of Toronto. which is in Canada. Um, so looking at it, and I know I'm going around about in circles, and I'm going to get to my point.
You got me
When,
going in
when we talk about when we
circles.
talk about Anthony Edwards, we talk about Anthony Edwards wanting to not wanting to be the face of the league and declining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's yours to decline. I think you're already in the position. They're gonna push you to it whether you like it or not. And I'm gonna give you the examples right now. So um before the NBA pushes you into that position, they do a trial run with the public to see how the public will receive you as being the face. At one point, it was I would say at one point Chris Paul was a young face of the league, right? And he had this State Farm commercial with Chris Paul and Cliff Paul. And shit was cheesy. But I don't know if you remember, but it was a point where I believe it was like in 2013, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
There was a young Dame Lillard. There was a younger Steph Curry. They pushed this Sebastian Curry. And so they were showing you right then who the next guards were going to be in the future. And the way that it worked, the Golden State Warriors went from Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr. They start winning championships. Boom. Steph Curry, face of the league. So they showed it to you. They laid it out. They rolled it out. Dame Lillard didn't have the success in the playoffs. Never became the face of the league. Um,
So
another instance in that they
So
tried
why
to.
you saying this, dog? Are you saying that? Are you also laying out
I'm gonna lay out.
prerequisites for being the face of the league? Is
No,
winning titles and
no,
and
no.
playoff games one of
I'm
them?
no. What I'm no, no.
Because it
I'm gonna get.
sounds like you just
I'm,
eliminated.
I'm gonna get to that too. But I'm gonna say, but they gave it to you, and they gave it to the fans, and they let the fans decide.
Man,
And
this
as
ain't an all-star vote, man.
I'm just that's how it is. The fans decided, just like Jason Tatum. They tried to make Jason Tatum the face of the league. He came in, they had this story of he came from a single mother in a single parent home, and he's creating shelters with his mother
but
to
he did
house.
he couldn't outperform
Brown
Jalen
fucked
Brown
that up.
on his
Yes,
own thing.
Brown is
even
who
Absolutely.
even
Brown is
even
who messed that up for him.
even beyond that, they still, even when they won the championships, they still
Championships.
the championship, excuse me, when they
Okay,
won the
yeah,
NBA title, they put the mic in Jason Tatum's face for us to fall in love with Jason Tatum, and he plagiarized
yeah. It was generic.
multiple
It was
iconic
generic.
moments.
Yeah, it
He
was that was
plagiarized the Kevin Garnett "Anything Is Possible" yell.
yeah,
He
that was
plagiarized the Kanye West award speech. He plagiarized Stephen Curry celebrating with the champagne in the locker room. He plagiarized Kobe Bryant holding the Larry O'Brien trophy in 2001 after they beat the Philadelphia 76ers. So he plagiarized all the moments. And then if that wasn't enough, in the summer after he was an NBA champion, and they made it to where Brown didn't go overseas, they said, okay, we're going to separate you and Brown. They pushed him to go overseas. They took two of his teammates that were role players got more love than he did on USA
no, no,
basketball
no doubt, no
in front of
doubt,
the masses.
no
So
doubt.
so
So
they so he was rejected. So now I give
So,
you Anthony Edwards, right? Anthony
and
Edwards.
before you give us
Hey,
Anthony Edwards,
yeah,
hold on,
yeah, because
hold on,
you
time
threw a
out,
lot, out
time out,
there, dog.
I,
time out.
yeah, because
So
Yeah, hold
hold on.
because I
on.
want to line my argument
I'm
up
gonna
as
tell
to
you
why he
this.
can't deny it.
I got you.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum was pushed on us because Jalen Brown has a Marshawn Lynch type quality
Correct.
where they not fucking with him.
Exactly.
even though he's
That's who they not
known
fucking
He
with.
was he was he
he's
was
known to be
pushed
the
on us long. He
And,
was pushed on us long
and
before that.
they
It
not
was
messing
long
with
before
him
that.
for other reasons because of his intellect
exactly.
and all kind of other stuff. So that's another.
He also
But
sided with Kyrie. So,
on top of that though, Kevin, while you saying all this stuff about Jason Tatum, what you're doing, you're critiquing his celebration, the way he celebrated and all the things in his, the way he welcomed or accepted his accomplishments. That's almost the same way his peers or predecessors critiqued his game. Like, they're always talking about what Jason Tatum could or should be doing and ain't doing. Even though he's still effective, he gets a lot of criticism.
yeah.
So, and that's from peers. So if you can't get it from your peers, you that's a big step for being considered face of the league. I know you talking about the fans, but damn, your peers gotta say you that guy first,
Yep.
or it's not gonna be respected.
And last but not least, Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
When Anthony Edwards was when they did the award ceremony for USA basketball and the men received their gold medals, you had Stephen Curry first, you had Anthony Edwards second, you had LeBron James third. Anthony Edwards in between LeBron James and Steph Curry, and then you had Kevin Durant fourth. So they rolled it out. They gave it to you there. Okay, that's step one. Step two, in the offseason, the Minnesota Timberwolves traded away the guy that was for 10 years, he was their franchise player, Karl Anthony Towns. So they parted with him, sent him to New York, right? Um, when the NBA scheduling came out, national games, the Minnesota Timberwolves made the biggest jump of all the teams in national games. They were at plus 15 this year. Last year, they had 10 national games. This year, they have, and I want to make sure that
Come on, Kevin Fitzpatrick.
they have 25 national games. So
Okay.
plus 15 after you get rid of your previous franchise player. In addition to that, Adidas has made him the national, like he is the
The
face of
face of
Adidas.
Adidas basketball.
Yeah, he is the face of Adidas.
Okay.
On top of being,
Taking over James Harden.
yes, on top of being the face of Adidas, he is also sponsored with Sprite, and he is part of the I don't even know the I don't it's the logo. What is their motto? Let me look that up real quick because it's a motto, but it's him and Sha'Carri Richardson.
Mhm.
Sha'Carri Richardson.
Don't forget the sun.
Yeah. Sha'Carri Richardson that are the main two people on Sprite.
Mhm.
Well, Sha'Carri Richardson,
He
she
he
basically,
he also has Chipotle commercials now too. They ran one during the game today.
But Sha'Carri Richardson is the face of women's sprinting for track, fastest woman in the world. So they're making him the face of many of these brands. They're putting him in the position.
But that's their choice.
Exactly. So
That's the brand's choice.
they're pushing him to be in the public eye, but Ant is telling you, I don't give a fuck what you gonna do. I'm still gonna be the
Thank you.
same nigga
Thank you,
Oh,
engineer.
that I
Bong.
was.
Thank you, engineer.
You
Hey,
know,
Kevin, you could be as intricate as you want. If Anthony Edwards don't want that shit,
yeah.
it ain't
that's-
happening.
Don't
It
matter.
it
But
it does matter.
I started by saying that Kevin Durant didn't want it.
And he's not the face of the league.
He
Hold
is
on.
still a
Hey,
No,
face
he's
of the
not.
league. He's
DP.
still a face.
When we talk about face of the league, this is what let me be clear on what I'm saying about face of the league. Face of the league is somebody the NBA can get behind and push for whatever the cause or case is, because that guy always says the right thing, does the right thing, and
Hey,
doesn't have any controversy surrounding him.
hey, DP. Kevin want to thank engineer so much. Scroll back up and go to that comment engineer posted about how Ant Edwards was treating Obama.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
not a
yeah.
face of the league. Like
Hold
you've
on, hold
shown
on,
us.
hold on. And we missed up. Let me take some time out really quickly, Bong. I thank you for saying that.
Yeah,
Hey, Red's Barbershop. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. And
absolutely.
I gotta highlight this too before I highlight what else Bong says. You know, Bong and KP are Lakers fans. I'm a
Absolutely.
Clippers fan, so let's go Clippers. I'm with you on that. Shout out to Red's
Yeah,
Barbershop, man.
yeah,
Um,
indeed.
so
Lakers
but
just spanked
this,
their ass back to back,
hey,
but
that's okay, man. You know,
neither here
hey,
nor there.
hey, that's
And
okay. But this is what Bong is talking about right here.
Like that's some
Anthony
niggas.
Edwards pressed Obama.
I
Come on, man.
honestly, I'm gonna tell you,
I didn't have a
I
problem
didn't
with
have
it
a
though,
problem with it.
but
I didn't have a
But,
problem with it.
it,
but what I'm saying is, face of the league, it can't
yeah,
be that.
that's what
It
I'm
can't
saying.
be
I
that.
don't have a problem with it, but sometimes I'm
I,
on some nigga edge. You know what I'm
But look,
saying? And
and when he was doing that silly shit, who did Obama go get?
he went and got LeBron.
the
Like, hey man,
face of the
check
league,
check this young
like,
whippersnapper. And LeBron and KD like shit. We can't check him.
hey,
I'm
KP,
I'm all right with that.
KP. What did I tell you off cam? I told you, and we had when I said we had the captives because we were talking too much. But I
Yeah,
told you, I guarantee you, you don't think they talk about this stuff behind the scenes. You don't think
absolutely.
LeBron tells them, "Man, I'm so tired of having to do this and that, and this and that." And Anthony Edwards probably like, "Man, I ain't never doing that shit." Like, fuck that. Like, he don't want it. I also, Bong, when you said something about the short, when we were talking back and forth, I told you this has some of the elements of the Charles Barkley, I am not a role model. Charles Barkley was not Michael Jordan.
Yeah. So
He
it's
was not the
it's
dude smiling, sweating, and sipping Gatorade.
Hey man,
it's
Like,
it's again. Now they came out in the same draft, but
yeah,
Anthony Edwards really reminds me of LaMelo Ball for different reasons. I think LaMelo Ball being the youngest of three brothers that were uber famous in high school, and he's driving a Lambo at 16. Like he is at the point in his career where I'm just gonna come get this money. I already know how to be a superstar. Like fuck all the rules. I'll make my own rules because he's been spoiled at such a young age, right?
mhm,
So like a lot of these guys, they do stuff that the vets normally do. The vets, like you start to see Kobe, you see it with LeBron. They'll cuss on camera at that stage where it's like I've done it long enough where I don't give a fuck.
yeah,
LaMelo
yeah.
and Anthony Edwards, specifically those two, they love to get on camera and cuss. They nigga this, fuck that, shit, nigga yeah. On the at the This is at the post game interview on the court. You know what I'm saying? They not even it's not even like
oh
wait till you
yeah.
get to the back or whatever,
When he
whatever.
god damn, when he dunked on the dude from Utah.
Oh yeah. Like I mean, this is the on court interview.
Yeah.
Talking about
Uh
that nigga this and I'm like,
God.
y'all doing too much, man. It's like y'all trying to convince us that nah we we don't give a fuck about this shit. We still hood and this that, and the third. I get it. You know what I'm saying? LaMelo, I don't even understand it because again, you had a good upbringing. You came from some decent
From the
money.
IE, basically.
From the
Yeah, you know what
hills.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
From the
the
hills.
heels of the
Like
IE.
Yeah.
The heels of
The
the IE.
like
hills.
I don't know Anthony Edwards' upbringing. I know think he might have been single parent home.
Yeah.
But
His mom
Oh,
passed away when he was young. His
yeah,
grandmother passed away. Yeah.
so there could be issues there that where that kind of makes him the player that he is, right? Like I need to go tap into this old school hood shit. Like
mhm.
that's what drives me to be who I am. Like that, I don't give a fuck about what you think about me type shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the motivation is for any of these players, but what I'm saying is The league is trying to find players, and what they're finding out is they don't fall off trees. They tried to make Ja Morant the motherfucking face of the league. This nigga can't keep the pistols out his waistband.
Man.
Um, they tried to make fucking Zion Williamson the face of the league. This nigga can't keep the beignets out his waistband.
And I think
Uh,
I think that he actually want not Zion. I don't know if Zion wanted to be the face. I don't know if Zion is really interested in all of that and all of that
he's
kind of shit.
interested in
Ja,
beignets.
Ja Morant though, Ja Morant, I think
Wanted it.
he wanted it. I think he did. I
He
think he
was
did.
he was ultra popular. His shoe line took off immediately. Kids gravitated towards him. He was there, but he just couldn't shake the hood shit.
Yeah.
These dudes couldn't shake the hood shit. You got to remember, again, that's why I tell you that it was an era. LeBron could have been a John Morant. LeBron could have been an Anthony Edwards. Remember, LeBron from the projects.
Early in LeBron's career, man, it was a stripper incident in Vegas with him and his crew, and yeah, that shit got buried. That's
Red's
it.
Barbershop. I appreciate it.
That
Red's
shit got
Barbershop.
Yeah.
buried.
Crazy.
No, and real quick before we go any further, Rez Barbershop, I was actually gonna ask y'all where you're located. So Rez Barbershop, 1738 Garnet Avenue in San Diego, California. That zip code is 92109. So if y'all in the area, check out Rez Barbershop, y'all. We appreciate you
Hey,
hopping on here and supporting,
that's the
man.
business.
Only black owned barbershop in Pacific Beach. So
Okay.
That's
hey,
the
we
business.
love to give it up, man.
All right.
We wish you much success, man. Um,
Agreed.
you know,
I'm
that's
gonna come
dope,
down there and
man.
get a haircut, man.
Yeah, that's dope.
I'm gonna come down there.
1738. Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
come down. I'm gonna come down there, man. I got you.
Yeah.
1738. Man,
Who
appreciate it.
who do I ask for?
Red, baby. No.
Who do I ask for? Hey man, don't put me in the first. Don't put me in the first seat, man.
Hey,
Don't put me in the first seat with the rookie barber, man.
my office
Don't-
hours are
don't-
from 9 to 5, Red.
right. My office hours are from 9 to 5. Oh man.
Okay. Yep.
Oh, man.
I got you. Yep.
but
I'm gonna come down there and get a haircut, man.
Bong, so
Sooner than later.
you said
Yes, sir.
it,
This
it
is
can't be Ja Morant, it can't be Zion, you know.
they love guns and beignets, man. But
Nah, he love
again,
more than beignet. He love buns. Just
oh
call it
yeah,
what it is.
oh yeah, he got entangled in some.
Yeah.
He had an entanglement. But
Yeah.
so who is it? Who is it? Is it the have we not seen them yet? You know what I'm saying? And really, um, we're starting to see a new crop. And is it going to be a push for Cade Cunningham in a little while? You know what I'm saying? Like again, I don't know. I'm not saying I know, but we're talking about the
I,
face. And we're not talking about the face of the league because right now you can say Luka's
Have
the
y'all
face.
seen engineers vote? He keeps throwing this
Amen.
Amen
this
Thompson.
this rocket out here.
Yeah.
Is that Amen Thompson the one putting people in headlocks, or is that his brother?
A sore.
That's a sore.
Oh man.
Wait, no. Aim is the one that threw down dude from Miami. What's his name? The shooter from Miami. What's the shooter's name?
Oh,
Tyler
Hero. Yeah,
Hero.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tyler
In the
Hero.
last
Yeah,
yeah.
he threw down Tyler Hero, man. He made quick work of Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But I don't know. I don't know, Bong, to address what you just
so
asked. I
we're
don't
asking
I
we're
don't know.
asking for American faces of the league because right now it can be said that for the next 5 to 6 years, Luka is probably going to be the face of the league, right? So you're talking about when you talk about someone that was positioned whether they wanted it
Will he
or they
be?
not.
Will he
Listen,
be the
hear me
face?
out. Hear me out. Hear
He
me out.
went to the right franchise if he
Hear me
wants
out.
to.
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get it
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, my bad.
Whether he wanted to or he didn't want to, the league has positioned him to be the face of the league. You're in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The endorsements will start rolling in. I can't wait till I get the first cross branded Shohei and Luca commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like when they get something, some kind of collab together. LA is like where it goes down. He couldn't. Dallas is great.
Does it
There's nothing bigger than LA.
does
And
it matter if Luca wants it or not?
Luca doesn't have to want it
So
because
so in his case, it matters in Anthony Edwards' case, but it doesn't matter in
no,
Luca's
no, no,
case.
no, no, no. What I'm saying is Anthony Edwards is going out of his way to not want it. Right? He's saying all the wrong things. Luca is already smart enough that he's saying the right things already. He
Is
doesn't
he
have
is
to.
he is he smart enough, Bong? Drinking
What?
beers after,
I,
right
I'm
after.
I'm saying like he's
No, no,
had
no.
some,
Is he
What,
is
what,
he
I'm, what,
is
I'm, what I'm
he is he
saying is,
smart
listen,
enough?
hear me out. Hear me out. He's had some. He's had some. If you want to call those gaffes, drinking a beer. If that's the worst thing you can say about him, great. But what I'm saying is, when he gets in front of the camera, he's gonna say the right thing in front of reporters. He's not gonna say, you know, start cussing in Slovenian and
but
saying some wild ass shit.
Bong, can I
So it
ask a
doesn't take.
question?
Yes.
Earlier, did you agree? I made a statement. I said you can't get it if you don't have your peers nod first. Do you
Yeah.
disagree with that, or you agree?
I agree. But you're saying Luca doesn't have his peers not?
To be the face? No,
But what I'm saying
no,
is, listen, in Dallas, they brought a casket out.
that's fans. I said peers.
We saw the league reaction too. The
The
players that
the
chimed in.
players.
What makes
The
you think that the players don't believe that Luca?
You may be asking. I'm waiting for the
I'm
question.
that Luca is the face of the league.
I said, do you think they want him to be the face of the league?
I don't think it's about a. I don't think it's a want
Okay,
at all. I'm saying
if you don't have the support from your peers saying that's the guy, I think that matters. You have people. I think it matters. You have people who are
are people saying
when I said predecessors and all of that stuff. You have Carmelo Anthony on his podcast where they're talking about this very topic, and they're talking about foreign players and American players and who's stepping up as the American player. I've seen other people talk about it, and I don't think, look, you just had the All-Star game where they made it a American versus European thing,
World,
basically.
world.
Like, it's that dynamic still exists. So I don't see the American players, unless you just want to say everybody is in that pool with Anthony Edwards and LaMelo, and they just don't care. And they just like, oh yeah, let them be the face. We don't give a shit. Like Edward said, y'all got Wemby. You think everybody is of that notion? Y'all got Wemby, let him be the face.
I don't
I
want to.
think that
I don't
Luca.
want to see all this.
I think
I,
I'm just
I,
saying. I mean, it's
I don't want to see all that,
I
man.
think Luca's position to be the face of the league, especially if and I okay, and I'm not to change gears. I told y'all it is not out of the realm of possibility for the Lakers to make a finals run. We had this argument when Luca first got traded. Lakers are currently in second place in the Western Conference, and they've been rolling. They was rolling before Luca got there. They had a little blip, a two game losing streak when Luca first got here, and now they back rolling. It will take these four players. They have a big four in LA, not a legitimate big four like
Okay,
a.
I'm like,
No, no, no. But what I'm saying is they have four core guys that they need in order to win. It's Luca and LeBron. You can cast them as 1A, 1B, and I don't give a fuck which order you put them in on any given night. It could be either or. Then you have Austin Reeves and you have Rui Hashimura. If those four guys continue to show up, I don't know if there's a team that can outplay them. They're giving you 100 a night.
yeah. I'm not calling them a big four. I would say those four
I'm
guys
I'm
though.
just saying.
yeah.
I'm just the
No,
word
I
big
agree
four does
with
not
you.
have the same meaning that it had you know,
with the
10,
Celtics in
15, or whatever it
2007.
was.
Well, let's not use it then, baby.
But what I'm saying is
Yeah.
the Lakers have for better or for worse, they have four guys that can give you 20 plus, right? They have four guys that can give you 20 plus. And if those four guys show up, I don't know too many teams that are beating the Lakers. They have a certain style of basketball they have to play to win, but
What's that style of basketball?
man, it's a bend but don't break type defense, and you guys got to keep running. And that's what
But you got to
man,
sustain that for a 7-game series.
and that's
Well,
what
That's
I'm saying. So
that's the
so
hard
so
part.
so
this
the downside to the Lakers, this is the downside. Luca and Austin Reeves are defensive liabilities. They have been. Rui Hashimura does not show up in the playoffs, and LeBron always fades in the fourth quarter. One
He
thing we can take off the
Le,
table is LeBron fading
LeBron
in the fourth quarter because now you have Luca.
LeBron doesn't play defense either.
But he will. Again, this is a
he
bend. You have to be a bend but don't break,
Yeah.
right? A bend but don't break defense. We know that y'all motherfuckers ain't all. Y'all ain't nobody. Ain't no first team defensive
but
players out here.
so I'm not gonna disagree with you completely, Bong. I'll add something to what you're saying though, right? Um if you look at the Western Conference, which everybody will typically say, oh, the Western Conference is the strongest conference and all of this and all of that. If you look at the teams, the Thunder, okay, I would say they're legit, right? They
Yeah.
can they can also make a run. Do you the
They they will make a run.
are the Nuggets as strong as they were? Kind of having some ups and
Yeah,
downs,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I was gonna say
Don't
yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
see. How about the Grizzlies? I don't know.
They're
The
competitive, but I don't
competitive,
yeah. Yeah.
competitive. Is anybody jumping up? The Rockets? I mean, I'm sorry, engineer. I know you're a Rockets fan, but
They're
they are
young.
pretenders.
Yeah, it's just not
They're
it's not
not gonna. They're not gonna
They're
make a
young.
real.
They're
yeah.
They're
young.
and they're not gonna make a real push,
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah,
Like
they're young.
we talking about a championship push right now.
Yeah.
So yes, they're young. They ain't gonna do it. The Clippers. I'm a Clippers fan,
Mhm.
but come on, get the fuck out of here. They not doing shit. They're not gonna go. You know,
Why still don't play back to backs?
yeah, I don't think so. I think he went for what 33 against the Lakers, but that's like a rare occasion now. Like it's just I don't know. I don't even want to go into the Clippers like that. I'm gonna just keep it pushing. I don't think they gonna make a push either like that. The Warriors don't have enough just because they got Jimmy Butler. Get the fuck out of here. That's not enough. Like, I mean, it
Still a
makes him,
strong man.
it's a great story.
Yeah.
He's a great competitor. It gives him a little push, but championship contender? Come on. Saying all this to say, I can continue going down the list. I don't think the Western Conference is as strong as you
You
would think. This
So
is
you
a great year for the
you
Lakers to strike.
you
So
didn't
I
mention
definitely agree with you. The Suns, I know I didn't mention them
no,
because they ain't
you didn't
doing
mention
shit.
Dallas.
Dallas,
yeah,
I didn't say
because
because
they contenders, but they
Anthony Davis has to be healthy for
Yeah.
them to do anything. I don't even know when he's coming back. And
he's coming back in a few games.
when he comes back, they got to get in the fold. I told y'all it was a to be determined to see who wins the now for this, right? But like Bong said, the Lakers are gelling, they're playing well, they're moving. And but you just can't tell for Dallas because they're not at full strength.
You know what's crazy? Dallas traded Quentin Grimes, right? Traded him to Philly for Caleb Martin. You know Quentin Grimes just recently dropped 44 points in Philly.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
18 for 24 from the field, 6 for 9 from 3.
Damn.
44 points and 6 rebounds.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
in, engineer, the Lakers, in my eyes, I was very skeptical as a Lakers fan when the Luka trade first happened. I didn't think him and LeBron could coexist, and I've been pleasantly surprised. And you see me smiling ear to ear.
Hey, hey, look,
Let's
I'm saying,
go.
I'm putting them in their competitive point right now. I'm not saying I'm not what I'm saying is, Bong, I don't disagree with you. I think it's very possible. And just the way the league is right now, especially the Western Conference,
Yep,
it's
yep.
open for them to do exactly what you're
I,
saying. I just gotta see like how it rolls when they're playing the team in the series. So the first round of the playoffs, if they stick with the second seed and they get in the
yeah,
first round and they handle that, that'll be like the test. Like, how is it going? And if they just make mincemeat of whoever they played in, we looking at something. They'll be dangerous. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? But I gotta see them in that setting, because then yeah, the game slows down a little bit. You're gonna have to play some defense. They're gonna try to exploit some matchups.
mm-hmm.
And it just all depends on who you get matched up against, right? And if it happens to be Dallas, because they hovering around the play in, if it happens to be Dallas, that would be a hell of a first round
It would be.
series.
It would be.
Yep.
It
So
would be.
I'm still in the I still gotta see it.
I,
I ain't completely sold type, but
I
I do feel you, Bong, for sure.
I didn't expect it to blossom this fast. I was more so I was happy about the trade, but I was happy about the trade for the long term effect of replacing an aging star with a young star. So the fact that they are playing well this early makes me that much happier. I will say that.
Yeah.
And Red's Barbershop. While you sending hearts and all that stuff, man, we need you to like, share, and subscribe.
Oh, he already
Hey,
did.
he did. Like, he
Yeah.
been in the building, man. He
Hey,
dropping likes and hearts and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah.
tell you and tell your employees, man.
hey, I respect engineer Red's Barbershop. Like, y'all definitely,
Yeah,
man. Shout out to y'all, man. We
yeah,
appreciate it, man.
for
And
sure.
especially the engagement. Look out for the shorts and stuff we put out during the week too, because we've been going live pretty much every Sunday,
Appreciate it.
but we try to like break some of this stuff down. Like, some people miss some of the stuff, so we try to do shorter segments and do lives, and then we do other topics like that pop up as well. So because we
Yeah.
talked about the fights and stuff even before we got into this fight that just passed this weekend. We talked about some stuff with Terrence Crawford, some stuff with Shakur Stevenson. So we jump around and talk about some different things. So rock with us, man. Check it out, and tell your people to check us out, man. And I don't know who the other we talking to engineer and Red's Barbershop, but there's some other folks in here. So if y'all just watching, just looking in, man, you know, like, share, subscribe, man. Pop back in. Come
Yeah.
check us out next time again, man. Rock with us. So
And
we appreciate it.
I'm really going to the shop, and I'm gonna we in March. I'm gonna go this month.
Oh,
So
he's gonna do it too, Red's
yeah,
Barbershop. Like,
so I'm saying it on wax so that the public knows and hears. I'm going down there this month. So when I say, man, I'm going down there to get a haircut, now I'm
yeah.
not talking about a year from now. I ain't talking 5 months from now. I'm coming down this month.
And you're
Thank
not super, super far. I'm not gonna say where you
Yeah,
live,
yeah,
but you're not
exactly.
super, super
Yeah,
far, right? Okay.
so I could, I can make it happen.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah,
maybe an hour drive, but that's
Okay.
nothing, man.
Okay.
yeah. No, for sure, for sure. That's the
And
best.
it's crazy, Red's Barbershop. I was just out there
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Had,
saying?
had this show had you have been in last week,
I might have stopped
yeah,
by. Like, look, I
exactly,
gotta make a stop.
Even
yeah,
though
exactly.
the barbershops close on Sunday and Monday,
Exactly.
you know how
Like,
that
hey,
goes.
hey, and his office hours are from 9 to 5. So
9 to 5.
I was, I might have missed that window anyway. Um, but man, I mean, look, we're gonna have to get up out of here, man.
Yeah,
Some of this stuff, we'll probably end up circling back to anyway. Obviously,
Yeah, we're gonna have
you
to. Hey
getting
man, we're gonna have to circle back to that Anthony Edwards.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
Lakers, man. We got to see what
Oh,
what's going on with the
it's
Lakers.
always great to talk about the Lakers, man. I'm glad you
Oh,
Absolutely.
said that.
hey,
I'm
Matter
hey,
of
I got.
fact,
glad you said
Hey,
that,
look, I got, while we before we exit, I gotta say this, man.
man. Yeah.
I heard Reds does dreads without the grease.
hey,
Javante, we
Hey,
got a barbershop out in San Diego that'll hook you up. You don't have to worry about the
hey,
grease dripping in your eyes. You don't have to
absolutely,
worry about the barber jumping all in your videos,
oh
absolutely.
man.
trying to get all in the back of your acceptance speeches and your congratulatory
Oh
shout
yeah,
outs after you win a fight. Come on
hell
over
yeah,
to Red's Barbershop.
straight
Absolutely.
up. You dig? Hey, Red, they got some apparel for us, man. Go pick that up when you slide through, kid.
Absolutely.
For sure, man.
Absolutely.
That's love, man. That's love.
All right, man. Well, listen, y'all. It's two peas in a bong, y'all. We out of here.
Peace.
Peace.